And I feel like you have been going through the motions, getting your work done, doing what is expected of you, tuning out distraction, tuning out your thoughts, tuning out these premonitions or these nagging feelings, because you had to take care of all these earthy, practical things. This is a picture of a farmer. He's probably got a wife, he's probably got kids, right? And he's the one laboring in the fields. He's taking care of his plants in his garden or his crops. And he is meticulously, just minding it day after day, because God forbid, if there is a poor harvest, his whole family is going to starve. So there's a lot of responsibilities riding on you for whatever reason. Some of you could have a family and you're the sole breadwinner. And if anything goes wrong with your job, what's going to happen to the kids? What's going to happen to your wife? What's going to happen to the house? What's going to happen with the mortgage, the car payments? There's a lot riding on you. And then some of you might be, like a head of a corporation or even a supervisor or even a manager. And if something goes wrong, you're the one that gets blamed for it. So you have to be extra vigilant. You have to be on top of your employees. You have to make sure everybody is where they're supposed to be. So there's a lot of pressure for you to do things the right way, to perform, to excel. So every minute is accounted for. So you don't have time for all these frivolous thoughts or these things, quote unquote feelings, right? And others of you, I have this card, 7 of Wands. You're the fixer. You're the one that, fixes everybody else's problems. You come to work and every day it's like, do this, do that, fix this, fix that. And responsibilities just mount up. You might not have even, had time to take a good vacation. Okay, if you're away from work for too long, things get out of control because people are incompetent and they don't know what they're doing. And, the place might catch on fire. So you've had a lot of responsibilities and honestly, a lot of people depending on you. And I just feel like it's this pressure cooker, like it's going to implode or explode. And there has been a lot of stress. There has been a lot of stress regarding work. There has been a lot of pressure from higher ups. There has been a lot of expectations imposed upon you. And I feel like it has been very difficult. And so you sweep away your needs. You put your needs on the back burner as you get through the day to fight these battles, to take care of these, putting out fires, and to, make sure that your family is well fed, make sure that your crops are growing, and make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. And you definitely neglect your own needs. And I don't even know how to advise you, because there's a lot of responsibilities that are on your plate. And honestly, you're doing what I would have done too. Take care of these responsibilities, suppress our emotions, go through the motions, and just, one day at a time, right? Like that's what you're doing. But I feel like there's this yearning, there's this ache. Like, is this the best way to live? Is this all there is to life? Is this what my job is all about? Is this, my destiny for the rest of my life? No, it's not. There shouldn't be a way to do this. There should be a happier way to enjoy the fruits of your labor, to go to work and be able to leave work at work, and to go home and to be around the people that you love. So this isn't your destiny. This is something that you're finding yourself in. And the only way to get rid of it is to find a way out, find a different way of doing. And I feel like you're not doing that. So here's where I can advise you. We have here the Ace of Wands. This is new passion. Okay, this is like a new project, a new source of passion, something that really stirs deep emotions and feelings within you. And this is something that you wanted to do for quite some time. You have been suppressing it. And I feel like the flame has gone out of the situation. Because of all these things that you are preoccupied with, you kind of put this wand on the back burner, and over time it just, the fire has gone out. And so it's time to find this passion again. If you are finding yourself at a place where you're working so hard and you're waiting for, promotions, you're waiting for the next step, it's time to take the next step. You're not happy here. You need to take the next step. And I feel for some of you, there's a lot of fear here about reputation. And let's just say this, because this did come out. Okay, like you're in an organization, right? And, it's a big organization, but everybody still kind of knows everybody. And there's one position opens up, and 4 people in that organization applies for that one position. And you want to apply for it, but you're like, what if I don't get accepted or selected? And everyone's going to know that I didn't get selected. So no, I'm not going to apply for it. I don't want to be embarrassed. That's what I'm feeling is happening. And so who cares what people think? This is an opportunity that you need to go for. I feel like you might have missed out on it in the past and you regret it. You thought so-and-so was going to apply for it, but they didn't, because they were probably thinking the same thing. And so no one got the position, and then they repost the position, or somebody outside got the position. And so, now there's another opportunity coming into the picture, and you should grab these opportunities, because where you are right now, you're just in a state of like suspension, just waiting for a situation to unfold. And it's not really... It's very stressful is what it feels like to me. It's very stressful. Okay, so aside from that, let's talk about this lady, this really, really beautiful lady. And I apologize for people who are not heterosexual. Whatever images I get, I'm just going to relay it, because that's just the way the messages are meant to, come out. So you can swap the genders if you want to, okay? You can swap the genders, but either way, there's somebody that you're dealing with who is really, really attractive. Like, you're really attracted to this person. I'm seeing a lot of interracial couples, like people that are like different cultures, different races, different age groups as well. And I feel like that's why there's this natural attraction, okay? So I feel like some of you might have married somebody that, is culturally very similar to you, age-wise very similar to you. And then you realize that, you know what, we're from the same culture, from the same age group, but we have nothing in common. And then you meet somebody who's like really exotic, who's very different from you. And then you have everything in common with that person. And you're just like, what? How did that happen? And I'm also sensing, because they're so different, because you're not used to looking at somebody that's different, that's why they're so exotic, and that's why they're so striking, and that's why they're so beautiful. But the way this person shows up here is the stars. This is somebody that possibly could be very famous. And there is a very soothing energy about this person. Okay, this is one of the most, the card represents Aquarius, but I'm not going to name signs here because I feel like it doesn't matter the sign. This is somebody who's very exalted. Okay, so they follow their true passion and they do whatever they want. They don't care about what people say. I mean, she's bathing. She doesn't care that people see her naked. She doesn't care. So this is somebody who doesn't care. And I feel like because you care so much about reputation and, what's expected of you, and you're going through the motions, that you find this person really fascinating just because they do whatever they want, just because they're really true to themselves, and just because they're happy. I mean, look at her. She's so incredibly just free and happy, and just she's glowing. And you're trying to figure out, where is this glow coming from? Is it external? Is it because there's a torch right here? Or is it internal because she's living her life the way that she wants to live her life? So I definitely feel you could be female watching this, and there's somebody in your life that you really admire and you wish you could be like them. You could be, you know, interested in, well, there could be somebody you're interested in, regardless of their gender, you find really beautiful. But it's not just beauty. There's something about this person that draws you to them because of their free will, because they have always listened to their heart, because they do things that normal people would be too afraid to do. And I feel like this person is trying to push you outside of your comfort zone. By being with them, there's really strong passion here, by the way, that you have suppressed for a very long time, okay? You definitely, you're carrying a torch for this person, and I almost feel like you feel it's unrequited love. You feel it's unrequited love, but it's not unrequited love, because the scene that I saw was two people who were thinking the same things. But for whatever reason, you know, it's his last day, he's going off to war, and they're not consummating their love. So it's not unrequited. It's been there the whole time, but it was hard for them to reach you as well. They were focused on their things, okay? She's focused on doing what she does as a water bearer, teaching people, taking care of things. She's always just pouring water in and out. I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing something, and you're doing something. So the two of you are just like always busy doing what Taurus do and doing what the other person does. And so there's this love here that's just never talked about, never discussed, never brought to light, and never seen the light of day. And I feel for some of you, this is a source of temptation for you, especially if you are in a relationship. If you're in a relationship, this card came out in Ten of Cups in the reverse. You might have hit a very rough spot in your relationship. You might be going through the motions in your relationship, and you might not be emotionally invested in it anymore. Or you might feel this sense of, you know, lack of compatibility with your relationship partner. The two people are like the same height. They look kind of similar. So I feel like you might be bored with the same old, you know, routine. And then this person, I have here the Chariot. And usually I think about this as like, you know, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, you have the two Sphinx, and one is dark and one is light. So I usually think of this as like culturally dating somebody who's different, or being attracted to somebody who's very different. Or like age gaps as well, life experiences, people who have like a drastic differences in life experiences. So there's a love here that's not really getting off the ground. And we have the Devil, which is a huge source of temptation. And I feel as if, you know, it's my last day, I'm going off to war, I might not come back. And so you have to find a way to do something. Okay, you have to find a way to speak those words and to kind of like speak from the heart and not hold your emotions in anymore, because you have suppressed a lot of things. You might even be dealing with, you know, I'm not happy with this work environment. I want to get out of it. And yes, you should. And you might not have, I'm sorry, there's a pop-up on my screen. You might not have that sense of like, it's like doing things out of a sense of duty, but just going through the motions and not really being emotionally invested in it. So that's what I'm seeing here, Taurus. I do hope that we can find a solution to this so that we can clear up this energy so that it doesn't come back next week, okay? Because like I said, it's almost like you have your last chance. You're going off to war and, you know, that whole spiel, but you have to make a change here. And you have the opportunities here all around you. But I don't feel like you're making the move. I see lack of movement here. So let me just see. What is the outcome in this situation here for Taurus? Okay, you are going to make a move. The move is going to, the move that you are making, you know, the action that you are making is going to come after a lot of waiting. Okay, this is a card about fearing censorship, fearing like the judgment from other people, being burned at the stake, doing something that is not socially acceptable and feeling like you're going to get ostracized or burned at the stake. Okay, that's what it feels like to me. There's definitely a love situation that is financially laced. Love situation that you can't get out of because of financial obligations. And what I feel though, what is the outcome for Taurus? When these three cards came out, I feel like you're not making a move until, you know, you absolutely have to, until you drop the ball. Until you drop the ball. And that's might be when it's too late to grab this new opportunity. That's when it might have already, all the liquids from this cup might have already run out. Okay. And I feel like at that time, that's when you're going to realize what was it really important to you. And by that time, it might not come back. So the outcome for Taurus, you need to make a move this week, okay? The Mercury retrograde, I feel like what it did was, especially for the fixed signs, so Aquarius, Leo, you guys, and Scorpio, what it did was it forced you to face some truths. And I feel like it is an emotional truth. You know, does the other person love me? Do I love the other person? If I love the other person, does it even matter that they love me? So should I just tell them how I feel, even though they don't love me, or even though I might not be sure if they love me? And I feel like for other fixed signs, it was sort of like, I'm going to bare my soul, especially for the Scorpio. I'm going to bare my soul, and then the other person will let me know how they feel, and then I can lay it to rest. I feel like for the Leos, it was definitely, you know, is this partner in it with me for life? Okay, so it was like reassessing their major relationship and to figure out, is this my ride or die type of partner? And I feel like for you, it was getting you to open up. It was getting you to open up for the Aquarius people. It was forcing them to see how their actions have driven people away. And I feel like for you, it might be a similar theme, but I feel like you have been very consistent. So it was forcing you to like put your emotional needs on the front burner, put yourself on the front burner,